This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
All right, come on in. Jennifer Parson filling in for Kenny Burgamy this week. Also the designated babysitter for this guy.
Yeah, Scout's honor, I will be on my best behavior. Maybe. But hey, welcome to the show, and we promise it's a good one. Coming up, ask any good builder when you can no longer expand outward. What's the next option? You go vertical, right? Yeah, absolutely. David Jones tells you about a new program in Athens that's doing just that in hopes of feeding our growing population. There was lots of whining going on at this meeting, but not that kind of whining. This one involved grapes and something that will hopefully bring lots of money to the state of Georgia.
Plus, see the heart-pumping story of a DeKalb County sheepdog who put his life on the line to protect his flock from a vicious pack of coyotes. Badly injured, he never gave up, and his heroic actions have earned him high praise from people around the world. These stories and so much more start right now on the Farm Monitor.
With the advancement of precision agriculture, farmers have become more efficient than ever when it comes to producing food for a growing population. However, the farmland needed to grow it is decreasing by the day. Damon Jones tells you about a new program at UGA designed to overcome that problem and what they're doing to make it more viable.
As the old saying goes, they're not making more land. And with the world's population set to cross the 8 billion mark this year, finding innovative ways to produce food in limited spaces has now become a priority. Enter the University of Georgia and their new hydroponics program, which has already garnered plenty of interest from both the academic and commercial side.
We have a lot of students contacting us. We have growers coming over with questions and investment uncertainties. And what we are seeing is a booming industry with not only interest, but companies coming over and establishing operations.
And a major reason for that is the accessibility to other markets from this central location. It's a program that could not just be beneficial to the agricultural industry from a supply standpoint, but manpower as well.
We have a great geographical location, and we can basically make a difference in our state and in the whole Southeast, distributing food to different states around us and guaranteeing that our students, the graduates from our university, have the opportunity to work in the state of Georgia.
One of the major fringe benefits of this style of agriculture is the positive effect it could have on the environment, as a number of the limited natural resources that go into farming could be used more efficiently.
Sustainability is one of them, the ability to reduce water use, fertilizer use, increase energy use, also reducing the food miles and guaranteeing that the food we consume and of course we produce is benefiting the state where we are at.
Now, the obvious drawback to hydroponic farming is the cost. And that's why Renito and his team are working hard on high value crops like strawberries to make it a more viable option.
The yield that strawberries provide over time allow a higher return of investment. So we are looking into optimizing water management and nutrient management in strawberries, and our goal is really to make this industry viable in terms of greenhouse and vertical farming to guarantee we return that investment much faster.
With this type of farming pretty much limited to leafy greens for the time being, not much information is available for other crops, which is why there will be plenty of trial and error for this research team over the next few years.
We have water culture methods and we have substrate culture methods, and our goal there is to take that risk of trialing different growing methods for the growers, so that way when they decide to implement that industry here in our state, they already have scientific information to guide their decision process.
Reporting from Clark County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
In the past decade, the Georgia grape and wine industry has seen rapid growth. So much so that in 2020, the Georgia legislature approved the creation of the Georgia Wine and Grapes Commodity Commission, a farmer-funded program designed to support the industry. Our John Holcomb reports from Gilmer County about an assessment that would help advance the industry even further.
Recently in LJ, wine producers from across the state gathered for their annual meeting, a time of fellowship, learning, and business. This year, growers were able to learn about and discuss a 10-cent per liter assessment on wine produced and sold here in Georgia that will be voted on in the coming weeks. Something Eric Seifarth, board member for the Georgia Wine and Grapes Commission, says is not a tax, but an opportunity that would help advance the industry.
This is an opportunity for a commodity, in our case, the wine production commodity, to generate income that is exclusively for our own use. And that money is derived by a cents per liter assessment for each and every producer of wine in the state. And that assessment would go to a fund that could be used by the entire industry to do things they want. Our desire is to create an advisory board that would be under the commodity board, and that would be the basically where it would connect to all the growers within the state.
Producers last voted on the assessment back in 2021, but was voted down 19-31. However, Seifarth believes it's time to try again, as he says the industry can't continue to grow without it.
Georgia is still a new wine growing region. There are still plenty of people in the state, and particularly in large urban areas, who may vaguely know about the Georgia wine industry or know nothing about the Georgia wine industry. So we're looking for opportunities to market it and make that even clearer, that not only are we a wine region, we're a wine region that's making very high quality wines and is certainly an option when the Georgia buyer has to make choices of what they do with their entertainment money. We're there for them to provide things.
As a grower himself, Seifarth believes the most important argument for the assessment is so they can fund research that would help improve the industry, something he says has been needed since he started his operation more than 2 decades ago.
When I started, there was nothing in the state of Georgia to support a wine grow. There was no research, there was really no academic backing to it, no information pool that I could go to. So what did I do? I had to scrounge from neighboring states and their information pools and their research, which may or may not be exactly applicable to what we're doing here in Georgia. Research can be very, very expensive. Universities and organizations are hesitant to do critical research unless an organization is willing to put up some money themselves. In Georgia, we have a plethora of issues that affect our growing of wine grapes, be they pests, be they climate change, be whatever they are, and we need help from academics to figure out how to best go forward.
The vote for the assessment is set for sometime in mid-March. Reporting in LJ for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
All right, John, thanks so much. When we come back.
He just charged him. And I mean, it was, maybe 10 seconds. He had the first 3 dead. Methodically, just 1, 2, 3, bam, 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 they were dead.
This Great Pyrenees from Decatur, Georgia, risked life and limb and saved a flock of sheep from a pack of coyotes. Don't miss the incredible story of bravery and loyalty when the Farm Monitor continues.
Most fruits and vegetables have seeds on the inside. But did you know that the strawberry is the only one with seeds on the outside? Let's take a closer look at this sweet treat grown right here in Georgia. Strawberry plants are related to roses. They are the first fruit to ripen in the spring and require a unique process for planting and growing. Farmers begin by fertilizing and plowing the soil in late summer. They mound up the soil into rows and cover the rows with black plastic. Irrigation hoses carry water under the plastic. A tractor punches holes in the plastic, and workers place a strawberry plant in each hole. During the winter, the farmer will care for his small plants by watering and fertilizing when necessary. He'll even cover them if it gets too cold or windy. The plants will begin to bloom around the end of March. Strawberries must be pollinated by bees to grow fruit, and bees love strawberry flowers. In fact, many farmers also keep bee colonies to make honey. Young strawberries will turn from green to white to brilliant red as they grow. They ripen quickly and require a large number of workers to pick them before they go bad. Workers carefully put the strawberries into baskets and bring the baskets to a packing house. Here, they are taken to a grocery store or produce stand near you. Big or small, these ripe strawberries smell delicious. Did you know that most Americans eat about 3.5 pounds of fresh strawberries each year, and another 1.5 pounds of frozen strawberries in ice cream and smoothies? Strawberries are also healthy. They offer a good source of vitamin C, fiber, folic acid, and potassium. They're also a low-fat, low-calorie fruit that can help prevent inflammation and arthritis. Be sure to pick up Georgia-grown strawberries in a store near you this spring and summer.
Meet Casper, a fearless Great Pyrenees from Decatur, Georgia, who made headlines both locally and worldwide for his incredible act of bravery. In the early morning hours of November 4th, Casper ignored his own safety and protected his owner's sheep by engaging in a fierce 30-minute battle with nearly a dozen coyotes, killing 8 of them in the process. When it was all over, Casper was gravely injured. But the events that followed are a true example of loyalty, teamwork, and just how valuable this particular breed of dog can be when it comes to protecting one's livestock. In the days leading up to November 4th, something wasn't right. I guess you could say it was the calm before the storm. Except there was nothing calm about them. No, in fact, they were very active.
The week that this happened, that Monday, a neighbor said he had seen 13 at one time, which is a lot of coyotes. You know, like 2 and 3 is a normal thing. 1 and 2 is normal. Seeing 13 coyotes at one time, that was worrisome.
Worrisome indeed, especially for John, owner of You Can Do It Naturally, a Decatur-based landscaping company whose workforce includes some 90 sheep. On the night of the attack, only 6 were on the property, and according to John, Casper, as well as another dog, were relative newcomers. He had recently acquired the dogs as a test run to see if they could live up to the task of guarding his sheep. Well, Casper quickly proved his value.
He just charged him. And I mean, it was, I think maybe 10 seconds. He had the first 3 dead. And
Methodically,
just 1, 2, 3, bam, 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 they were dead.
courageous as it was, Casper's efforts came with a heavy price. When the 30-minute battle was over, most of the coyotes were dead, and Casper was nowhere to be found. 2 days later, and badly wounded, he found his way home. The moment John laid eyes on him, he feared the worst.
I thought we were going to have to put him down. I didn't think he'd make it another couple hours. He was terrible. It was everything badly infected. And he just had these huge wounds. I mean, just one of them on his side was like this, and the one on his neck was like that. And I thought his one ear was torn off, but it was just matted back with blood. And you know, all the hair was gone, and his tail was, you know, missing about half his tail, and he wouldn't even let us get close to his tail. And so the first thing was clean him up enough to be able to assess, you know, do we take him to a vet or not?
Ultimately, the decision was made to take Casper to a vet. Multiple surgeries would follow, but his long road to recovery was just beginning. So were the medical bills. That's when John turned to an old friend and an organization created for situations just like Casper's.
I think 15, 16 days or so, he was at the emergency vets. That's a lot of money. And then he went to Lifeline, and you know, it's a spay-neuter clinic, right? But Dr. Susan Brosman, she and the team over there they're just wonder workers.
We didn't know what we were going to expect coming in there, and we were like, surely he's like half dead. But he come in and he had this wound that was massive, but other than that, he was still in good spirits and, you know, such a good boy.
And how's this for an added bonus? Not only did Lifeline Animal Project assist with Casper's road to recovery, the group also launched a GoFundMe campaign to cover his medical bills. In total, they raised $15,000, more than the original goal. That extra money will now help save the life of another animal in the future.
People love a good story, if you will, and like his story was just so like heroic in a sense, because I mean he was saving the sheep, but he also, if you think about it, saved the risk of like the neighbors in the neighborhood, and like that with that many coyotes, they normally don't travel in such a large pack like that. So with that many coyotes there, it could have put other animals at risk, other farms at risk, other people at risk. And so it's heroic in a sense. And so everyone loves a good heroic story.
You know, we thought we were going to have to do skin grafts, all that. None of that. And he's, you know, he moves around well and still loves to get dirty and loves to get cleaned. And so just loves to lay there and watch things and pay attention to everything going on. He's doing well.
What does it say about this breed of how, you know, just resilient and defensive they are when it comes to stuff like that?
And not just, I mean, they're so loyal. They're determined to stay with their animals. They are determined. We couldn't do our jobs without them, because I can't be out with my sheep, you know, 24 hours a day. But the dogs are, and the dogs make a lot of the decisions. If you know, we try to coexist with coyotes, but you come across the fence and that's where coexistence ends, especially for the coyotes, right? The dogs decide that's it. And that's important, right? They take care of those threats. And it's not just coyotes. They chase hawks off. They chase owls off. They chase all kinds. They chase people off. And they're important for that. They're just an incredibly important part of our business. And we couldn't farm, especially doing urban shepherding. We couldn't do that without dogs.
You know, I try to avoid using this term because it's so often overused, but it is an absolute miracle this dog is still with us. The way John Weirwold describes it, it was a very vicious, violent fight between Casper and the coyotes, and huge props to all the doctors and technicians who helped save Casper's life, including everyone at Lifeline Animal Project. Now, if you'd like to learn more about the organization, maybe you're thinking about adopting a farm dog, or you have a farm animal that needs attention, give them a call. Send them an email. The web address you see there, that is lifelineanimal.org.
Well, all this begs the question, are you seeing more coyotes or foxes lately? More importantly, can you tell the two apart? Learn what to do if you see one on your property next.
All around us, challenges are growing. Populations, climate, demand for resources. At the University of Georgia's College of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences, we are growing with these challenges. Joining with fellow researchers around the globe, we are merging traditional agriculture practices with advancing technology and modern tools to improve our world. From the clothes we wear, to the food we eat, to the water we drink, our scientists are doing the work that is needed now to create a more sustainable future for generations to come. Through teaching, research, and extension, we are equipping producers and the next generation to become our nation's leading advocates for progress and conservation. Our researchers are examining the tiniest molecules and the largest industries to transform the way we grow our food, protect our environment, and care for our people. From rural landscapes to urban communities, our experts are on the ground, working to build safe and sustainable food systems, improve environmental stewardship, and better people's lives in Georgia and beyond. We are CAES. Join us as we commit to the health of our planet and the well-being of the people on it.
Finally, this week, on the heels of Casper the hero dog, comes this: how to tell the difference between coyotes and foxes and what you should do if you happen to encounter one. It's information we should all know, especially this time of year. Here's Georgia DNR Outreach Coordinator Linda May.
Although foxes and coyotes live here year-round, they may be more noticeable in late winter and spring, because that's when they're establishing breeding territories and finding places to raise their young. They will either create a den by digging a hole in the ground or find one to use, such as an existing burrow, a hollowed-out log, brush pile, or rock crevice. Since these wild animals readily adapt to urban and suburban areas, they sometimes make dens in surprising places, such as storm drains, under backyard sheds, in eroded areas by driveways, and even in crawl spaces. By learning more about foxes and coyotes, you'll have a better idea of what to do or not do if you see them in your yard. Two species of foxes live in Georgia, the red and the gray. The red fox has reddish-brown fur, black legs and feet, black-tipped ears, and a white-tipped tail. The gray fox is slightly smaller, and although it has some red fur, it's mostly a grizzly gray color. Foxes aren't especially large animals. Their bodies are just a little bigger than a house cat, but with longer legs and bushier tails. Coyotes are similar in size to a medium dog. They're taller than both fox species and have large, pointy, upright ears and a long snout. Although coyotes can vary in color, they're usually reddish blonde, mottled with gray and black. Both foxes and coyotes have about a 2-month gestation, and then 2 to 7 young are born in the den. They will stay with the adults for about 3 months before going out on their own. During this time, the fox and coyote adults have to hunt more to find food to feed their young, which means you could see them out more. Some people really enjoy watching this life cycle play out, but for others, it's too close for comfort. If you don't want foxes or coyotes to take up residence near you, be sure to block access to potential den sites, such as the underside of sheds or crawl spaces. Make sure to remove any potential food sources, such as garbage, pet food, or bird seed, which may attract rodents. Coyotes could go after small pets, so keep your pets indoors as much as possible and monitor them when outside, even in a fenced yard. Scaring foxes and coyotes, also known as hazing, will help keep their natural wariness of people intact and keep them at a safe distance. Make loud noises. You can yell, bang pots and pans, shake pennies or rocks in a plastic bottle, or use an air horn. You can also spray water from a hose to scare them away or throw a stick near the animal. The less comfortable the fox or coyote feels, the less chance it will want to stay around. Coyotes and foxes can't be relocated due to disease concerns, but if conflict continues, lethal removal may be an option. However, other foxes or coyotes may move in from surrounding areas if attractants are still present. So in the long run, modifying your property to make it less inviting may be more successful and less costly. For more information, visit georgiawildlife.com and click on Living with Wildlife. Thanks for watching and for helping to keep Georgia wild.
Great job, Linda. Thanks so much, and thank you for spending time with us.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Stay safe, and as always, have a great week.